Sampajāna, clear comprehension means you have to see precisely, you have to see everything in its entirety. You have to see it by evenly using all your mental faculties. Only when there is evenness in the application of the 5 mental faculties will there be further development of wisdom. When you apply clear comprehension, it means you observe or you take note of the object, paying close attention to it, try to see it thoroughly, precisely, and with all your mental faculties in balance. So there are 4 kinds of clear comprehension mentioned in the commentaries. Number 1 is sattaka sampajāna, clear comprehension of what is of benefits. Number 2, sappaya sampajāna, clear comprehension of what is suitable. The 3rd is gochara sampajāna, clear comprehension of the meditator's domain. And the last one is asamoha sampajāna, clear comprehension of non-delusion. Meditators have to understand and observe each of the small actions of your body with these 4 kinds of clear comprehension. So number 3 is gochara sampajāna, the domain of the meditators. It is the 3rd clear comprehension. The domain of the meditators means meditating in seclusion. When you stay in your own domain, or when you stay in your own territory, you will not come to any harm. Nobody can harass you. But when you leave your domain, you may be harassed. So Buddha advised meditators to live in their own territory, to live in their own domain, which is the 4 foundations of mindfulness. So you are very safe. You are practicing 4 foundations of mindfulness diligently in this retreat. The practice of the 4 foundations of mindfulness is said to be the territory or the domain of meditators. Here the clear comprehension of domain means just the practice of the 4 foundations of mindfulness. Abhikkante, paṭikkante, sampajānakārī hoti, ālokite, vilokite, sampajānakārī hoti. Whether going forward or going back, whether looking forward or looking back or looking sideways, meditation must be practiced. By always practicing meditation, you are said to be living in your domain, in your own territory. The clear comprehension of the domain means just practicing meditation. With regard to the clear comprehension of domain and how meditation should be practiced, commentaries mention 4 kinds of monks, 4 kinds of bhikkhu. The first is a bhikkhu, a monk who carries meditation to a village when going for alms, but does not carry meditation back to his monastery. The second is a bhikkhu monk who goes to the village without meditation and comes back from the village with meditation. The third one is worst. It is a bhikkhu monk who neither carries meditation to the village nor returns with meditation from the village to the monastery. That monk does not meditate at all. And the fourth bhikkhu monk takes meditation to the village and brings it back to the monastery intact. So the first monk who carries meditation to the village but that does not bring it back to the monastery can be a person who is meditating. He meditates the whole day, walking meditation, sitting meditation. He also meditates during the night, that is during 2 watch of the night. Bhikkhus, meditators, divide the night into 3 watch. During the first and third watch, meditator practice meditation. Only during the second, the midnight watch, do they rest. So that is the way meditators practice meditation during the whole day and 2 watch of the night. So your sleeping hour only 4 is the best. These meditators practice meditation the whole day and during 2 watch of the night, getting up early in the morning, he does whatever has to be done with regard to his monastery. That is, he cleans his quarters, sweeps the monastery, and bring water and so on. He does all this with mindfulness. And then after sitting for some time, he goes to the village for alms. When he goes to the village, he carries meditation with him. It means he practices mindfulness meditation as walking, 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 or stepping, 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 or right, left, right, left. When he reaches the village, he may be asked to accept food in a house He eats his food there and he may carry it in his bowl to the monastery. On his way back from the village, he may meet some young monks or novice, and they will ask him questions about the person who offered the food. Was they your relatives? And so on. The bhikkhu, the monk, has to talk to them. He has to speak well about the person who offered food to him. When he goes back to the monastery, he is not able to take meditation with him. He is not able to take meditation. So he has to give it up in order to talk to the young monks and novices. However, after he has reached his monastery, he again practices meditation. So he is a person who carries forth meditation to the village, but does not carry meditation back to the monastery. And the second monk is one who goes to the village without meditation, but comes back with meditation. He is also a meditator who practices meditation the whole day and during 2 hours of the night. He gets up early in the morning and does what has to be done in the monastery. Then he sits in meditation for some time, and after he has finished his meditation, he goes to the village for alms. So he has very good digestion. In the morning, his stomach is empty, and so the digestive fire or the digestive juice attack the lining of his stomach. When he feels some heat or some burning in his stomach, he is not able to practice meditation. He cannot keep his mind on the object because there is a burning in his stomach, and he may be sweating or he may be feeling dizzy. So when he is going to the village to collect alms, he is not able to practice meditation. He just gives up meditation and perhaps goes quickly to the village to get food. After he has received some food, some kinds of rice, gruel, porridge, he may approach a bhikkhu sitting hall in the village and eat some of the food. Having eaten, his digestive juices are now attacking the food instead of the lining of his stomach. He achieved tranquility and can practice meditation now. When he eats some food, he is eating it with mindfulness, just like you are doing in this retreat, noting all the activities involved in the act of eating, seeing, stretching, taking the food, sitting, stretching, taking, chewing, swallowing, etc. Noting all the activities involved in the act of eating. So he eats with meditation and goes back to the monastery with meditation, because now he is quite satisfied with regard to his stomach and can concentrate more easily on the object of meditation. It is said in the commentaries that many bhikkhus experience enlightenment while eating. So they kept their meditation while consuming food. So during a retreat, meal time is also a time for meditation. Instructions are given to practice mindfulness even while eating. So this instruction is found in the commentaries. And the third kinds of monk lives heedlessly. He has no desire for practice meditation. He has no interest in meditation. He does not even know that there is such a thing as meditation practice. He doesn't know. So that monk just eats and talk and mingles with lay people. He does not practice meditation at all. Such a monk goes to the village without meditation, collects alms, and then comes back to the monastery without meditation. The whole day and the whole night he does not practice at all. So he is a monk who either has forsaken responsibility for the practice of meditation, or has given up interest in the practice of meditation. So he lives in heedlessness and negligence, carelessness and indolence. And he does not practice meditation, he ignores all his duty. So he is said to be afflicted by 5 thorns and 5 kinds of bondage. 5 thorns, 5 cetokila, and 5 bondage, ceto winibanda, mentioned in the text. 5 thorns are doubt about the Buddha. He does not practice meditation, so he does not see the Dharma, and he has doubt about the Buddha. He does not practice meditation, and he has doubt in the Dharma. He has doubt in the Sangha practitioner, and he has doubt in the practice. And he lives in negligence and careless. So he have anger with other monks, other meditators, especially who practice meditation. And 5 kinds of bondage are attachment to sensual things, attachment to oneself and others, eating too much, spending time in indolence and laziness, and wishing to be reborn as a deva, celestial beings. So meditators have to remove the kinds of five thorns and five bondage. When you practice diligently meditation, you can remove five thorns and five bondage. So can you follow me? Five thorns. Five thorns. Five cetokila. Doubt about the Buddha. Doubt about the Dhamma. Doubt about the Sangha. And doubt about the practice. Anger with other meditators, especially who practice meditation. So five thorns you have to remove by practicing diligently. You can remove five thorns in your mind. And five bondage also you need to remove. Can you follow me? Five kinds of bondage. Attachment to sensual object. Attachment to oneself and others. Eating too much. Spending time in indolence and laziness. Wishing to be reborn as a deva, celestial beings. So it is a third monk. No meditator should act this way. No monks or nuns should act this way. So the fourth kind of monk is the best monk. He carries meditation to the village and returns from the village with meditation. He has cultivated in his mind the ability to meditate. He arises early morning and sits in meditation for some time. Then he goes to the village with meditation, collects alms with meditation, and returns to the monastery with meditation. He practiced meditation the whole day and 2 watch of the night. Such a monk, such a meditator is the best among the 4 kinds of monks or 4 kinds of meditators mentioned in the commentaries. He is one who carries meditation to the village and back again to the monastery. He meditates all the time. Now, when you are on this retreat, you should be like this monk. You should be like these meditators. Practicing meditation all the time. Sustain meditation diligently through all the moments from rising early in the morning till falling into sleep at night. So all yogis are practicing like this. In past centuries, there were monks who practiced meditation, carrying it both to the village and back to the monastery. Sometimes there were 30 or 40 or more monks living together and meditating, like in this retreat. When they met, they agreed to practice meditation seriously. They admonished themselves. We became monks not because we were troubled by creditors. We became monks not because we were afraid of some punishment by the king, also not because we could not earn our living. We became bhikkhus. We became monk because we wanted to escape from the rounds of rebirths, because we wanted to escape from the mass of suffering. So we must practice meditation diligently. They make this agreement. They decided to practice meditation and made up their minds to get rid of their mental defilements the moment they arose. So they admonished, or they made this agreement, restrain the mental defilements that arise in going, just in the going, suppress mental defilements that arises in standing, just in the process of standing. Restrain the defilements that arise in sitting, just in the postures of sitting. Restrain the defilements that arise in lying down, just in the process of lying down. So they made this agreement. They admonish themselves like this. So it is very good. Can you follow me? Restrain the defilements that arises in going, just in the going. Restrain the defilements that arises in standing, just in the process of standing. Suppress the defilements that arises in sitting, just in the postures of sitting. Restrain the defilements that arises in lying down, just in the process of lying down. So they are desirous of liberation in this life. They want to free from suffering. So they try to suppress the kilesa, mental defilements, that arises in going, just in the going process. They suppress the defilements that arise in standing, just in the process of standing, etc. So the agreement here is to restrain or to get rid of any mental defilements in the same bodily postures in which it has arisen. The defilements is not allowed to linger on and continue into the next postures. In effect, this means working on restraint of defilements as soon as they arise. After these monks make an agreement, to follow such an observance while carrying meditation to the village and back, they go to the village for alms. As is customary, when there are many monks in one monastery, they go out for alms in a line. If mental defilements arises in the mind of a monk in the course of going, he must restrain or suppress defilements while he is going, while walking. If he fails to do so, if he cannot get rid of mental defilements while walking, what must he do? He stops. And when he stops, the monk behind him also stops. When the monk behind him stops, the monk with the defilements admonish himself. He reflects. This monk behind you knows that unclean thoughts has arisen in you. Unbecoming is that to you. So having admonished himself, he applies himself more ardently to meditation. And with development of penetrative insight knowledge, he may then and there reach enlightenment. If he is not able to do that, if he is not able to get rid of mental defilements while stopping, then he sits down. Then the monk who comes after him also sits down. Then he admonishes himself. Now the monk after you knows that an unclean thought has arisen in you. It is not befitting to you. So he practices meditation and he may gain enlightenment then and there. Then if he is not able to do that, if he is not able to gain enlightenment, he may stop the thoughts of defilements and go on to the village with meditation uppermost in his mind. When a monk cannot eliminate an arisen defilements while walking, he stops and tries to practice meditation in the standing postures. Awareness that another knows of his lapse and is delayed by it may lend urgency to his effort. He may even reach enlightenment while standing. But if the defilements persist, then he sits down and tries to meditate. If he does not gain enlightenment while sitting, he may stop thinking about the defilements. Keeping meditation in mind, he is free to go to the village for alms. The monks do not raise the food with the mind bereft of the subject of meditation. These monks do not take steps without mindfulness. If they ever make a step without mindfulness, they go back and do it over again mindfully. In this way, they practice mindfulness. Not a step is taken without mindfulness. That is the way to keep mindfulness with us always. We should not make even a single step without mindfulness. This is the practice of the monks. This is the practice of the meditators who carry meditation to the village and back to the monastery. There are various means that have been used by monks to safeguard their meditation, their clear comprehension of domain, while following the observance of carrying it forth and back. The commentary gives 4 accounts of monks who used different approach to successfully fulfill this observance and reach their goal. The first account is of Elder Maha-Satipatthana. Maha-Satipatthana, it is said that Maha-Satipatthana spent 19 years practicing with mindful step, the observance of taking meditation to the village and bringing it back. Farmers, field workers, and others saw monk turning back to make a step again, and then turning back and making the step again. So they said, look, that that monk goes having halted, stopped again and again. Why does he do so? Has he gotten confused about his way? Or has he forgotten something? The farmers said. But the monk paid no attention to their talk. That monk just did his duty as a meditator and kept on practicing meditation. For 19 years, he practiced mindful of his step, and in the 20th year, he gained enlightenment and he became an arahant. On the day of his attainment, a deity who lived at the end of his walking path appeared before him. The deity stood there with radiance streaming from his fingers to honor of the elders who had become an arahant. The 4 regents, the 4 governors of the earth, Brahma, Sampati, and Sakka, the kings of devas, kings of gods, all came to honor the ṭhite, Maha-Satipatthana. Another monk, a forest dweller called Maha-Satipatthana, happened to notice the great light. Meeting Maha-Satipatthana the next day, he asked, last night there was a radiance about your reverence. What was that? Not wanting to reveal his attainment, the elder Maha-Satipatthana said, radiance can be that of light, radiance can be that of gem, radiance can be that of other things. So he really didn't say anything. But on being repeatedly pressed with the words, you are concealing something, he could not deny it. He said, yes. Then he informed Maha-Satipatthana of his attainment. So this elder is one who, by just doing what he was supposed to do, with great perseverance and patience, became an arahant worthy of honor from the gods. And the second story is about the elder Mahanaga, who live in the black Kripa pavilion, Kala Winli Manda pavilion, when fulfilling the observance of carrying forth and carrying back the subject of meditation, he resolved to use only two postures, standing and walking, for 7 years. This meant that he would not sit or he would not lie down. He practiced two postures, standing and walking. So he made that resolution with the thoughts of honoring the Bodhisattva 6 years, great struggle, practicing meditation and austerities in the forest before becoming the Buddha. Maybe he wanted to do better the Bodhisattva by making the resolve for 7 years, not 6 years. After completing the rigorous years of this discipline, the elder Mahanaga practiced the observance of carrying forth and back the subject of meditation for another 16 years. The commentary says, he also raised his foot only with his mind yoked to the subject of meditation. If he raised his foot with his mind not thus yoked, he turns back again. That meditator too followed the practice of turning back and making the step again whenever he took a step without mindfulness. In this way, he would go to the village, but he did not enter it immediately. After standing at such distance from the village as would raise in the mind of one looking from the village the doubt, is it indeed a cow or a monk? And rubbing himself, he faced his mouth with a draught of water from the water carrier hung over his shoulder and hanging under the armpit. Having washed his bowl with water from the same source. So when Elder Mahanaga went to the village for alms, he stopped at the distance before entering. It was far enough away so that the villagers could not decide whether it was a cow or a monk. Standing there, monks use brown-colored robes, so maybe they could be taken for cows. Standing there, he robed himself in preparation for entering the village. When monks are at their monastery, the proper attire includes bearing one shoulder, but when they go out of the monastery and enter a village or town, they must cover both shoulders. Then they make a roll of the robe and place it over the left shoulder. It is how the elder robed himself. He then washed his bowl with water from the water container slung over his shoulder. Before a monk enters the village, he must wash his bowl. that keeps it wet so the food won't stick to the bowl. After washing it, the elder took a sip of water from the container and held it in his mouth. So Elder Naga practice in this way. We will continue tomorrow. We have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing clear comprehension, all the activities, by practicing vipassana meditation continuously and meticulously, by noting, rising, falling, sitting, stretching, bending, seeing, hearing continuously and meticulously, may all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future.